I'm going to be looking down at my notes a little bit here. So when I started Plexus about 3.5 years ago, I used Facebook kind of to hide behind. I was very, very shy. I didn't want to go talk to people. So it was an easy tool for me to use to just, kind of get my message out. But I made a lot of mistakes along the way that I want to share from what I've learned over the years. But I don't want you to be hiding either. I want you to make relationships, build those relationships, and use Facebook as the amazing tool that it can be for you. So one of the things I always go back and see now when I am, like my time hop pops up or my memories, and I see some of the things that I did a few years ago, I'm really embarrassed because a lot of the things I used to post was really, really salesy. It was graphic after graphic. I had gone to Google. I had found other images people had used, and I really wasn't sending a good message. I was just selling to people instead of really sharing my passion. So one of the things I would say to definitely avoid is to Google images. A lot of times the quality is not good, it's not compliant, it's old information. We want to make sure that whatever kinds of images you're using, they're personal to you. Don't find somebody's picture that's their hand and you can tell like it's not the same hand or it's in their kitchen. Go take a picture yourself. Take a picture of you with your products, you with your family, something that's really going to connect with people. If you see a post that you like that's somebody else's, obviously don't click share. That's really bad. I've had people actually end up on my website and order from me when they meant to order from somebody else because they shared, and it just doesn't look original. If you see something that you like, save it and use it at another point, and you always want to make it your own. You can get ideas from other people and definitely use other people's ideas, but if you're copying directly, it's not you. It's not going to have your voice, and it's not going to sound like you, and people that know you are they're going to realize that you're just trying to sell them something, which probably isn't your goal. So whenever you can, definitely go in and make some edits, make some changes to those kinds of things. Hashtags. I see people copy and paste things all the time, and they use the exact same hashtag. So hashtags in general on Facebook don't have that much of a purpose. They're great for Instagram, for other social media platforms, but on Facebook, if somebody clicks on it, and let's say I hashtag Plexus Slim, and somebody copies the same post as me over and over again, everybody that has that hashtag Plexus Slim, if they clicked on it, they can see everybody's post. And what are they going to see? They're going to see the same post over and over and over again, especially if it's something kind of, kind of unique, and they see the same thing over and over again. It's just going to look very, very salesy, very canned. I've seen people that copy and paste a post exactly, and they're posting things and they're not really reading it for content, and they end up sharing somebody else's story that's not there. So really make sure that you're checking that you're making it as original as you can. You want to be real. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. That's a quote by Simon Sinek. A lot of us have talked about him before. If you're not familiar with him, go check him out. He's a great leader. He's written a book called Start With Why. He's got a TED Talk on it. But you really want to start with that why. Why are you doing this? Why are you passionate? Why are you still sharing about this? People want to know and hear from you. They are friends with you because they want to connect with you. So really think about it. Do you have a strong why? Do you have a strong brand? Do people know who you are? What kind of message are you sending? What kind of things are you sharing? What do you stand for? If you were to go to your page right now, would it be confusing what you were doing? Would you be posting about several different things and none of them really being coherent and going together? If you're one day talking about how amazing you feel and how much energy you feel, and the next day you're complaining because you have a headache and you've been laying in bed, does that make sense? So I would encourage you guys to go to your page and do a little social media check. Go and scroll through and see what you see on your page. Do you see a lot of salesy kind of graphics? Do you see a lot of external links, like you've posted somebody else's thing or you've shared something? I see that a lot, and I scroll through people's pages and it's just share after share after share. It's not really saying much about you. Whenever I share something, if I do, it's very, very rare that I click share. I always make sure I say something about it so people know why I'm sharing it. What's the point to this? Go through and see. Do you see interaction? Do you see people liking your post? Are they commenting on your post? Which things are really getting interaction? Is it the pictures that you found on Google and you posted, or is it the picture of your kids? Is it a picture of you with your products and telling your story, or is it a picture that you found of someone else? So really go through and think about that. And when you're going through too, when you're looking at Facebook, what are the things that make you want to stop and read somebody's post? Do you stop and read like paragraph after paragraph after paragraph? Like, I know I personally don't. Maybe you do. I have a very short attention span, so I keep going until I find something that really catches my eye. A gimmicky graphic, I just keep scrolling. Maybe somebody's picture of their pet that's really cute, so I might stop. If there's something with emojis, that really gets people to stop as well. There's certain keywords too that will make people start or stop. And I'm going to share that document with you guys right after, with words that are ones that you should avoid when using Facebook and ones that are more desirable. So I mentioned on Sunday about making friends and building relationships. So are you being bold in sending your friend request? And who are you sending friend requests to? Now, I go through and think about influential people I know, people that I know are well connected, people in my community, and I look at their friends, their page, and I see suggested, and a lot of times that's where I'll find my friends. I go back through, I've gone through elementary school, I've gone through high school, I've gone through my college, previous jobs, things like that, but don't be a friend to click add friend. The worst that can happen is they're not going to accept, or they're going to say, hey, how do we know each other? And you can let them know. If people ask and I really don't know them, I just say, hey, you know, I know that we had a bunch of mutual friends, or we live in the same town, or I just wanted to build some new relationships. It's okay. It's not going to be the end of the world, but once you do start making those connections, make sure that you are sending them a message right away. You go to their page, you find out a little bit about them, you send them a voice message, or you send them a message and just say, hey, I'm so excited to connect with you. For instance, if it's somebody that I know has a small business, I might ask them about their business. Somebody that goes to our school, I might talk to them about that. Whatever way you can make a connection. So I wanted to give a little sidebar about that. A lot of times we get, you know, now as a Jewel, or even before that, people were sending me friend requests a lot. And I want you to just be careful when you are sending friend requests. I would say if it's a Jewel that you're wanting to follow, to just click the follow button. Facebook has a limit of 5,000 friends, and with the new algorithm, a lot of people are not accepting your friend requests. It's not that they don't want to be friends with you, it's that Facebook is kind of mandating how we are friends with people and how we're connected. So don't be offended if somebody's not your friend or if they don't accept your request. You can always click follow, and most people do their Plexus post as public so that anybody can go and interact with it. So that would be something I'd say to do. People also often ask me, and that we mentioned on the call the other night, about who to follow, like which Jewels, which people you connect with. Well, I would think that's really like a personal thing. What I did when I started is I watched a lot of diamond documentaries. My upline, Alyssa, sent me diamond documentaries all the time, and I'd go through and figure out who I related to, whose story I really connected to, and who I liked, just even the way they were sharing, the way they were speaking. And then I'd go to YouTube and I'd find their videos and I'd watch a lot of those. When I started, I watched Sarah Marble and Sonia Dudley like all the time, but there's different Jewels now. There's lots of different people. There's so many people that you can connect with. It's going to be up to you. So you go do a little bit of legwork finding those people that you want to be following. Kind of along with that, I would say limit the number of Plexus Sideline friends that you have. Find those people who are going to support you. They're going to comment on your post, people that you actually know that are working at the same level as you or beyond. You want to kind of that whole law of the lid. You want to make sure that you're picking people to surround yourself with that are positive, that are really sharing the business well, and that you really like. So think about that. I recently had to go through and unfriend a whole bunch of Plexus people I didn't even know. It's crazy. But with this new algorithm, which I'm going to share at the very end, I just want to make sure you guys are thinking about that when you are sending friend requests. Okay, so another thing I do once I became friends with people and I really want to interact with them is I do one of two things. I either use that see first option, which is in Facebook, so I can for sure see their posts first. I had to do this with my husband actually because I wasn't seeing his posts with all my other friends. Anybody that you for sure want to see first, Facebook puts a little star by it and you get to see those people first and interact with those people. I recommend changing it. I do it every week or two. Change those people that I really want to interact with. And if there's somebody maybe on your team or somebody brand new that you do not want to miss their post, you can go in and get notifications as well. And maybe do that for a little while and really interact with them, build relationships with those new people, and then you can switch it up as well. Okay. I'm trying to read my little notes here. All right, and when you do have new friends, I want to make sure that you guys are going in and really taking a genuine interest in them and getting to know them. So the other thing that I think is really helpful and has helped me be successful with Facebook is interaction. I do a lot of that. I'm big on doing interactive posts. So what do? People are like, well, how did you come up with that idea? How did you come up with that question? And people actually stop me and say, hey, I love hearing your questions. Well, I am constantly thinking, like, I don't think my brain ever turns off. So I'm constantly thinking, maybe I'm in the shower or I'm driving and a question pops into my head. My son and I were walking through the neighborhood and he was counting up the pumpkins. So my question today was, hey, how many pumpkins do you have at your house? My son's keeping a tally of it. Might be what kind of salad ingredients, what kind of salad toppings do you use? I'm looking for some new ideas. Do you dress up for Halloween? Thinking about things that are kind of seasonal. Last week I asked, it was really cold here and I turned on my heat. So I said, hey, who else has turned on your heat? What are those questions that you're wondering, those day-to-day, everyday things that people can quickly go and respond and interact with you? I keep a note section in my phone, and every time a question pops into my head, if it's kind of crazy, I just put it there, and there might be a time to use it when I'm kind of stuck and I'm looking to really build that interaction. So go back through and see what things are interactive, like just day-to-day things that you're walking through and you see as a question that you can ask other people, because people really want to connect with you. They want to interact with you on Facebook, and everybody wants to give their opinion and have their voice heard. And that's an easy way to, even people that aren't very active on Facebook, I notice that they're liking and they're commenting because that gives them a chance to have their voice heard. Another thing is timing. Timing is really, really important. If you have a post that's doing really well, don't post something else right after it, because nothing is going to get seen, or one thing's going to get seen and not the other. It will get buried. So think about when you last posted and about how often you're posting. It used to be when I started, we told people to post at least 2 to 3 times a day. If they weren't doing that, we thought they were doing something wrong. And that was right for the time. But now really think about how much you're posting. It's better to have quality posts that interact and engage your audience, your friends, than just post after post of like graphics and things that aren't really going to relate to people, that just don't bring any value to them. So I mentioned a few different times, I know a lot of you have heard the buzz about the new Facebook algorithm, the way Facebook is changing what's seen and what they show people, and a lot of different things are going to be changing. And this is for right now. We don't know what's going to happen in a month or two. Facebook makes the rules for us. You know, we just kind of follow them. We just have to be a learner. We have to be constantly looking and educating ourselves on what is working best. So just because we're sharing this now, it might change in a month or two. So it's not set in stone, but I'm going to post a link to a video that Diamond Ambassador Emily Gibson posted that is very concise. It's very detailed of what you need to know for right now about Facebook and how things are working. I would encourage you guys to watch it. If you have not seen it yet, you need to go watch it and figure out what you might need to adjust right now in the way you're using Facebook. So those are my basic tips. Like I said, I'm going to go back and share a few documents. I'm going to go and add some notes to make this a little bit easier for you guys if you can't watch this whole video. And I appreciate you guys getting on, and I hope you all have a great Halloween. Thanks so much.